Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Indiana Esports Network 2024 fall season. We've got some awesome middle school Mario Kart action today. My name is Hot Sauce, and in the booth with me today, the legendary Orbital. How in the heck are we doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. Very, very excited to be here. It is a happy Halloween moment. I unfortunately lost my costume, which is a costume in itself. I am forgetfulness. So excited to be here. Excited to get underway with some awesome Mario Kart action.
Yeah, you know, we've got Hobart taking on East Tip. I know East Tip has had a very successful season thus far, 3-0. Hobart hasn't had a chance to play as many games. Unfortunately, they are 0-1 at the moment. But what better way to prove yourself than to knock off an undefeated team?
100%. This is going to be a little bit of a difficult matchup, especially with the number of races that we are going to have. So it's a lot of races, which means that you got to be on your A game through a majority share of them. Remember, 6 races per set, and is a best of 3 set here in the regular season. And I am to assume that, of course, East is going to be relatively strong here.
Yeah, they've been strong throughout the entirety of the season thus far. But before we get into the action, I would like to take a moment to thank LandFest for building healthy communities through gaming with 23 different chapters across 18 states, over 150 events a year. So we encourage you to go to landfest.com. You can check it out and find an event near you.
Make sure to go ahead and keep eyes out as well for LOS Portal and as well as Zotac Gaming. More on them later on as well, or if we have time right now, because I mean, this is the whole reason we got to showcase not just the high school level but the middle school as well. And I think it's very important, just as much as middle school, you know, football, soccer, anything like that. Being able to showcase some gamers out there in the middle school scene, also very important.
Yeah, you know, we love Zotac. They're always powering the stream like they are here today. And obviously, we could show our appreciation by making those posts out there. Hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag Zotac USA on those shout outs on the social media. We would certainly appreciate it, as would they. And I believe you can type ! Zotac in chat if you're looking for a little more info.
Make sure to go check them out and have all the social media posts, because this match is going to be a very, very good. At least I think so. At least I really hope so as well. We got always get some fun kart animations and kart combinations, I think, and, you know, breathe a little bit of life here into the Mario Kart circuit.
Yeah, you know, and that's the nice thing about Mario Kart. I mean, at a bare minimum, you're always having fun out there, and I think that's the most important part for these middle schoolers, is just to get an opportunity to get together in some extracurricular activities and have some fun and build that team communication type thing and work together. But as we mentioned, it's all about going out there and just having fun.
And that's the best part about it. Not only are you going to have fun driving, but you're also going to have fun with your teammates. Remember, this is a 4-on-4 race. No CPUs, so it's you 4 against the other 4, and that is going to determine your placements. Everyone earns points at the end of the day for your placements overall, and those points are tallied at the very end. Your total points over the course of 6 races will be given that brevity. So remember, if you get first, but your teammates all get in the lower brackets, it may or may not pull out in your favor.
Yeah, I mean, at a minimum today, we're going to be blessed with at least 12 races. Now, if East Tip can take it in 2 sets, it'll in there. But again, I think Hobart is going to be hungry for a win. You know, unfortunately, they haven't had as many games to play and kind of hone those skills in throughout the regular season. But certainly going to be put to the test today. So it'll be exciting nonetheless.
They're also rotating a 6-man roster, or I actually believe 7-man roster. I want to correct myself there, because 7 players in a team means that you can field, you know, multiple different combinations, depending if you want to have, you know, a couple faster drivers or anything like that. That is getting into very hard specifics, though, and in Mario Kart, it can bring some changes, specifically if you're running like heavies or anything like that, like the DK, like the King Boo or anything. But overall, it might just be, you know, who drives better on the day, who's ready to hit those windy roads.
Yeah, you know, and I got to ask you, Orbo, do you have a favorite character? Me personally, I'm a big Wario fan, so it's hard for me to not select Wario.
So I do have a favorite character, but I do it on like the worst possible combination of a ride. So I actually really like King Boo. I've always enjoyed the Boo aspects. Even in all the other games, if Boo's available, I'm going to play him. Here's the problem. I like to ride motorcycles in the game, and for anyone that does know, a heavy character, which Boo is considered, plus a bike do not go well together. So I enjoy the game. I don't really get good placements.
Hey, and and that's why I play Mario Kart too, is just to have fun. It's one of those games that you can sit down. It doesn't matter if it's friends, family, your kids, whatever it might be. It's just a fun game to get around and throw some turtle shells at each other, and just have a little friendly banter back and forth. But again, I think Hobart is going to have maybe a tough job today, but I love a good underdog story. We're always rooting for the underdog over here, so hopefully they can at least pull out a few victories amongst these races.
I think a good way to look at it as well, if this is going off of the point margin like I believe it is, you could theoretically just aim for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then work your way out from there. As we are getting DK's Mountain, go ahead and ride on down. Oh, this is going to be a good one. So we will get confirmation on which side is which, but race number 1 off to the start. Okay, so we do have Hobart on the left side and then East Tip on the right. So good to see.
All right, we're going to start off right away. Oh, sometimes you want to hit that perfectly. It doesn't go their way on the starting here as we see 7th and 8th position. But that's a nice thing. We're just getting started. There's plenty of time in here to get some of these power-ups and look to make some positions.
And of course, at the early start, I feel this map itself lends itself to the hazards a lot more than some of the other ones. I mean, it's a straight shot down pretty much, then round the corner, headed for a 2nd and 3rd time. But it can cause so much chaos at the early levels. I don't think you have to, or the early lap. My brain could not figure out that word. The early lap, I mean, forgetfulness, right? The early lap, you can go ahead and get away with as long as you don't fall too far behind. After that, you can collect doubles like this, and then you can work your way forward.
Just playing into that Halloween role perfectly, you know what I mean? As we watch these two characters here, still trying to make some positions up in the back of the pack here. We'll take a look, and again, 6th, 5th, 7th, and 8th for a lot of these members right now as they continue to make their way up, and still looking for some power-ups. We are going to hit lap 2 already, so this course isn't the longest of courses, but again, we're going to kind of wind and begin to go and work our way back up this mountain.
Yeah, this is, I also like the catch. So if you sit in here between, I want to say, considering that there are only 8 players, a lot of those power-ups, obviously you can see the star and everything in the bullet bills. These come out at much earlier stages, so taking a look, you're already seeing these at like 6 through 8. You can go ahead and collect, and these are huge game changers. You immediately pop one and you can blow past multiple other members. Hopefully not your teammate like we just saw on the left side of the screen, but you do hope to have a little bit of extra oomph behind there if you can gather some of those power-ups and make your way up to 4th, and then basically bullet your way straight to a 2nd.
They're going to pop the star and look to make positions. Both of these players here very close, 6th and 5th, as we see a little bit of progress on the East Tip side, getting up into the 4th position here, and still has some work to do, though, as we hit the final lap. So trying to make up some of that ground, sliding through these turns, looking to get some good power-ups here.
Yeah, these triple mushrooms should be able to alleviate some of the early pressure, but of getting up this mountain. But I don't know if you're actually going to enjoy that, and because of that, you also lost that mushroom, so you're kind of in a tough position. You really want to hit a double, but instead you only get a single. What are you going to get in that 5th? You might get to speed up another trip mushroom. And maybe the best that you can do is going to be looking at that 5th, 6th heavy mushroom boost, though. The magic is in the air for Baby Luigi.
Baby Luigi coming around through these little half-pipe sections. We saw him going up big for those power-ups as well, and able to kind of string them together consistently now, just looking for something that they can maybe utilize a little bit better here. So looking to boost their way around these turns. We can see Hobart Middle School 2 just in front of them there as they head across the bridge. The final stretch, nearly knocked off, and at the end, able to pass them up here.
Yeah, and it looks like the spread is pretty heavy there. Yeah, big job, and it is going to be Hobart Mario Kart here in the blue so far. Heavy split. Top 4 going to East Tip.
Well, we knew they were going to be very good. Their record certainly shows it, 3-0, as they've continued their tear here through the regular season. So a solid first start here for East Tip, but we've still got plenty of races to go, so anything's possible at this point.
And again, like I said, you really just want to secure 3 out of the 4 top spots. If you can do that, this is going to give you a little bit of a boost. Of course, with the random map, we are going over to a little bit of a funky course here. I think I'm going to enjoy this one, going back to the old GBA days.
taking us back to a classic here as we get ready for this next race, and we'll see if maybe they can time things just a little bit here, trying to get that extra little quick start, but unfortunately on the left side of here, Mario not quite able to hit it. Not as bad on the right side last time, so making some small improvements going forward, continuously getting better here, and of course, East Tip just looking like that dangerous squad.
Yep, this is, once again, we are taking a look, as you said, at Hobart, and for them, they're just trying to make their way towards the front end, utilizing Mario as well as Shy Guy. These are fairly lighter characters. I don't really know exactly what specs they're running on the vehicles, but running with the cards specifically does give you a little bit more control over the match. Great little shells out as these are bouncing all over the place, and that's Mario going off the side.
An unfortunate series of events there, trying to glide their way to victory here. Still in 6th place, we can see East Tip up there in front of them. The pack collectively kind of trying to increase that space between them, trying to quicken that pace here. And again, just another short, simple track here, already on to lap number 2.
And this is benefiting the likes of East Tip very, very well. We're seeing that deep thread on the minimap in the center. It's just overwhelming. It feels like you can see the gap here, and East Tip are also using, I want to say, their own Shy Guy in fourth to kind of run interference, maybe keeping track of where the opponents are coming up, making sure to drop shells. There's a blue shell out, though, so a little bit of pain going to come the way of East Tip.
Yeah, has a nice big lead. We see that blue shell about to connect on the minimap and will eventually do so. So we do see Hobart gaining some ground there and kind of splitting up the pack a little bit. And I like what you mentioned earlier, kind of watching that Shy Guy back there. I think that's a smart plan, right? To have that 3rd or 4th player kind of playing back, maybe be a little bit more of a disruption to those Hobart crews trying to make their way back into the pack.
Yep, as soon as you know that, hey, we already have the front 3, I think you're pretty happy. You really want to ensure that that 1st place secures it as well. That's 10 points in the bucket. We saw 29 earlier in map 1. So right now, you are really hanging on. A little bit of a fall off, though, as you see on the minimap there. It's a little bit of a danger, so there is a chance to kind of cut back. Oh, and maybe Luigi, we were watching, sitting up there at 3rd, but got bumped off. We've hit by a shell, and unfortunately, you're dropped down to 6th.
Yeah, Baby Luigi was starting to have some success, but unfortunately that red shell had other plans, and East Tip looking to control the race here as we go across the finish line. And we saw a lot of those red little emblems at the front, yet again squeezing out the top 4 positions.
Yeah, and Ribbon Road, that is a spicy one. I'll say quite honestly, once again, it's Baby Mario to be granted that 1st place status. 2 races down, heavy point lead. Remember, there are 6 races by, however, if we reach that 4th, I'll be sitting there going, it's gonna be fairly evident what's going to happen here.
Yeah, if they're able to continuously find these top 3 and 4 positionings, I mean, we're already looking at a score of 58 to 20. So, you know, they're just kind of padding those stats at the moment. But we've seen a couple, you know, some times where Hobart's making some moves. They have some moments of greatness. They're able to get up in there. But it's, you know, East Tip who is utilizing those power-ups to a T and kind of holding on to them to when they need to, and have had a lot of success here early.
Now heading to the Dragon Driftway, this is a bit spicy as well. Lots of turns and a little bit of a straightaway when you hit it pretty hard. So having those mushrooms will be very, very important. Maybe a star or a bullet bill if you're behind. Keeping yourself in check and hitting these corners well with the drifts. That is the key. You want to break out in a good position, have the power-ups to spare.
You know, I'd love to see some good bullet bill action. I haven't really got to see him too much just yet, as we can see Baby Luigi slinging some fireballs in that direction, has a red shell as well to work with, and going to be able to move up into 3rd place. So again, Baby Luigi having a little bit of success there, but if you look way up there, there's still a couple of these East Tip players that are just gaining that big lead.
And again, that's the whole game plan, right? Always secure first and have a guaranteed 10. After that, well, it's okay. You can give over a 2, you can give over a 3 here and there. And again, remember, they have so far East Tip controlled 1 through 4. 1st through 4th has been theirs religiously. So for right now, it's just ensuring a little bit of boombox is going to miss. So unfortunately, David Luigi isn't able to move any further. But that shell will do wonders. And now sitting at 2nd place, is this going to be Hobart to be able to make their way? No, I just cast a curse. No!
Hey, you know, one player's caster curse is another player's caster blessing, but Baby Luigi, after a ton of success, has been knocked back down toward that 6th place position, but not letting him slow him down one bit, continuing to power on through here, looking to gain some ground. But again, now we're already on that final lap, and IHSEN continues to kind of control the momentum and the pace here.
And for me, it's just, I mean, I don't think it's ever going to stop. However, for Baby Luigi, this is important. Of course, on the other side, we're seeing the Shy Guy action. Maybe you get a chance. That's a good little hit out, and you're covering. You can actually control a majority share of these right now. So Hobart really racing hard. It looks like they got their things under control, but they can't be hitting each other. They can't be bumping. Boomin goes out to try and help out, but it's not going to land using that red shell on the other side, though, as another one connects and outspeeds the rest of IHSEN. Danger abound as all of a sudden the positions have swapped.
Yeah, you know, we saw... Oh, Orbital. Not sure what's going on there. Unfortunately, hopefully it's not on my end, but hope we get those technical difficulties worked out. But as you see again, I mean, we saw Baby Luigi, Shy Guy, up very, very far near the end, 2nd and 3rd place, and then right at the end, it was taken away from him. So, you know, some good races, but consistency is key, and that has been the theme here for IHSEN. All right, we might have lost Orbital for the time being, so we'll wait to see if we can get Orbital loaded back in here. We do apologize, but after 3 races, IHSEN up 86-31. We saw a lot of great moves from Hobart in that one, and they were really kind of powering forward. I mean, in that final lap, it had a 2nd and 3rd place as well, but unfortunately, it was kind of taken away from him right at the end, and I do believe we have our glorious Orbital back.
Listen, I forgot how to talk all of a sudden. I forgot, like, where my connection feed was. It's really hitting me hard here, this Halloween action here. But this is going back to the old days here, Hot Sauce, man. How long has it been since we've seen this? Well, granted, the players have a lot, but man, I miss this map on the OG.
Yeah, you know, I'm not really trying to let everybody know exactly how ancient I am at the moment, but yeah, definitely an OG map, and one that we've all loved over the times here. So it takes me back to even kind of some of the N64 days, but nonetheless, we are back on the Hobart crew here, 6th and 7th yet again as they try to make their way up the pack. They, unfortunately, there yet again, they've had some trouble kind of running into each other, so just some minor mistakes here to work on.
Yeah, and honestly, it wouldn't be too bad with the shells, but once you actually connect and you bounce each other off of those specific spots, that's where the problem really occurs. Once you start bumping each other off the lines and off the reeds, you start messing with each other's kind of driving instinct. And on Yoshi's race, it's the worst value right there. I think it just hurts a lot because of the number of areas that you fall off on and everything of the sort. So you have to play very, very carefully. The Bullet Bill going ahead and carrying one forward all the way into 5th. This Baby Luigi trying to stand in front, outgo the Bananas, not going to win.
Looking to slide him off the track. Unfortunately, can't connect. Fires a shell, but gets hit in the meantime here as well. Tries to boost back into good position, but again, IHSEN just consistently making smart plays, utilizing their power-ups to a T at the moment as we see Baby Luigi again making some good ground up into that 3rd place position. Teammate right behind him in 4th as well. As we head into the final lap, we'll see if they're able to hold on.
Maybe they can, maybe they can't. 3rd and 4th, though, we always see, it feels like IHSEN always have some sort of funkiness that they love to run with and love to mess with as well. As soon as it hits this 3rd lap, it never changes. Of course, in 150cc, anything can happen. That's going to be a double right now, sitting at about 4, so you don't get too much, but a red shell is going to connect, puts you in 3rd with your buddy in 2nd right now. Shy Guy trying to collect one of those top spots, and it looks like it might occur. Red shell goes out, maybe connecting at the very end. This is the best time to space out those red shells. Will it connect? I'm watching that Baby Mario all the way at the top end. It doesn't look like it's hit. So first, we'll go to IHSEN. However, 2nd and 3rd, reaching the likes of Hobart. And for many races in tow, Hobart finally claimed 2 of the top 4 spots.
Yeah, it looked like somebody was trying to pass Baby Luigi right at the end, and he popped out a green shell in the back there and was able to take out whoever was aggressing on them. But you look at the score, and yes, we've seen a lot of success here from Hobart in this 4th race, but IHSEN has just continuously collected so many points over these first 4 races, already sitting at 107 points.
48-point difference, which you already saw about I want to say the most that you'll really collect if you claim all top 4 spots is normally about 20 to 25. So it's a rough angle right now for the side of this Hobart squad. They are going up against Royalty with the crowns to show it there as well. We got the nightlife coming out here. We're going downtown. Sun has set. Bring out the city lights.
Bringing us a little treat here in the nighttime show as we head into our 5th race. Of course, we will remind you there are 6 races in these sets, and it will be a best of 3 here today. But again, Hobart needing to make up a lot of ground, and even if they get top 4 places in these next 2 races, I'm not even sure if it's physically possible for them to make this comeback at this point.
As much as I hate to say it, I think right now you are playing for a little bit of pride, but at this point, if you can rip away first place, I think that's a dub all in some very nice drift, by the way.
Oh. All right.
Wow, pretty good.
All right, maybe cutting out a little bit again. I hope we still got Orbital, but drifting around here. I mean, we got Hobart back in first place, and as I say it, the shell comes raining down back to 3rd. Has a teammate just behind him, but we see East Tip again pressuring up into those first place positions as we already hit lap 2, and a lot of these courses are short, but certainly sweet.
Yo, 100%. They are feeling good for those that love the speedy angles, but with a lot of the shells breaking out inside of the park area, it gets wonky. We're already seeing a drop to 3rd and 7th, now 4th. As you can see, a member of the East Tip crew rush past Baby Luigi.
Rushing on past Baby Luigi's had a lot of success and been able to kind of crack into those top 3 a few times, but it's always East Tip coming back with those late power-ups to find success in those final laps. And speaking of the final lap, Orbital, we are already on lap number 3.
Hang on to the red shells as best you can. Get those boosts. We got an 8th place possible heroics here with the special mushroom. It is the king of all mushrooms. It's speed boost galore. How much can you actually get here? You're able to put yourself into 6th, maybe 5th.
Yeah, boosting up here. Baby Luigi back into 3rd as well. Has a teammate that appears to be in front of him and going to chomp down on the competition. A huge play from Baby Luigi, able to snatch up 2nd place.
Not just that. You called it out earlier. First place for the Shy Guy. Unfortunately, you can't really overcome the monumental lead that is currently East Tip. However, this is a fairly strong game for Hobart. Remember, there's another set that they could possibly play for. Maybe they're just getting in the groove.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it is even if you don't take this first set, right, here in these last couple matches, you've done very well. You've gotten in the top 2nd and 3rd and now in 1st and 2nd as well. So you're making some strong progress. You're building some of that confidence and that momentum, and then hopefully you can go forward and utilize that in the 2nd set as well.
Really just kind of, find your own rhythm here with your squad. But the point breakdown still leaning into East Tip's favor. We're going to a little bit of the Coliseum factor. Still in the nightlife, but a massive change in scenery.
Massive change in scenery, but I'm not going to complain about that. I love seeing all the different sorts here that Mario Kart has to offer as we start this one off in a hurry here again. So quicken to get to these first power-ups. We see the banana peels coming out here as well. A boost on the left side as they look to power 4, but whoever's on this Switch 4 is almost always in first place, it seems.
And that's the best part. I really do think as the rest of the team saying, okay, we'll make sure to place you in first. We'll give you a good position and try and keep you there. But Hobart really making sure to stay close, stick close as hard as possible. Green Shell actually lands, forces Baby Luigi into a lower spot. Green Shell's now going out from the Shy Guy. Hobart trying to send a couple missiles over through the way. Maybe they find some connections against each other.
Looking for some connections, looking for some little bit of extra help from these power-ups to help propel them up into these top positions. But you can look on the mini-map there and see just a plethora of red out in front looking to lead the pack. So hopefully Hobart will be able to find some good power-ups and put them to good work here.
I think they can do it. With how close this map is, and you can see all the tight curves and everything like that, you can get pretty close to the opponent. You can stay close. Of course, now with the breakout, you can already see that Yoshi running interference, keeping eyes on the opponents, multiple shells waiting on the wings as well. Going into what could be this final lap soon. It's going to be a little bit of a dastardly one as East Tip continue to maintain their advantage.
Yeah, not only are they maintaining this advantage, but they are now beginning to increase that gap out in front. And as they continue to power forward, it looks like they got at least the top 3 positions at a bare minimum there. So hopefully we can see Hobart making a way back into this. We see the blue shell coming out as well, but how much damage will it do when they have such a big lead?
I think they're just, again, playing for a little bit of pride. Maybe they do some extra work there as well. For the moment, though, they are going to play it nice and easy. You can see the rest of East Tip just waiting. They see the baby Luigi in there, saying, "No, we're not going to let that one go freely because it's already over and we are done." Top spots once again handed to East Tip as they take another convincing lead.
Yeah, Baby Luigi was able to get up into 3rd there, and we've seen Baby Luigi consistently get better and better with each race that goes on. But again, we mentioned just about those early races and getting those top 4 spots back to back, really kind of padding on those points for East Tip. So able to take this first set here, East Tip 150 to 84, 54 alone for Switch 4. Of course, 1 and 3 sharing that burden a bit at 34 apiece, and then 28 to round things up. So unfortunately, not even a single member on the Hobart side able to topple any of the members on the East Tip side.
I think there was a 30-point in there, but I do agree it's a very tough route for them. And now going into set number 2, it's another difficult task. So far, we've seen a lot of the short-range courses. These are very simple ones that end in, about a minute to a minute and a half in that lap. So maybe we're going to see it happen again. But for right now, East Tip looking fairly strong. And I really do want to know their bike customizations, Hot Sauce. I want to know how to get as good as they are.
Yeah, I don't know if I could ever get that good. I just go out there and wing it. But maybe some of you out there in chat are interested in playing as well. We recommend you checking out the League OS portal. You just got to go to portal.leagueos.gg. You can search in there as well. And it doesn't matter if you're a content creator, a competitor, a shoutcaster, social media manager. There's plenty of options out there. So we hope that you'll make your way over to portal.leagueos.gg today and take your game to the next level.
Always try and do that. I mean, Hot Sauce, you and I are here right now. We're literally doing that right now, being able to cast, being able to cover these amazing talent seeds up and coming that might even look to take their gaming strengths into the next field, whether it be high school, collegiate, or beyond. There's so much to think about.
Yeah, it's so great to see all of these opportunities coming into play here for, not just now the collegiate scene and the high school scene, but the middle school scene as well. And, we had done something on the Indiana Network not too long ago, and one of the teachers had informed us it was something like 40 or 60% of kids that weren't in an extracurricular activity prior to esports are now in an extracurricular activity. So it's great to see more students getting an opportunity to get involved and have some of that team camaraderie and have some fun.
Now, of course, we got to see if East Tip can do that once again. 150 points is a lot, and for them, I think they wear the crowns, somewhat happily if they get the chance. But for right now, they're just taking a little bit of sweet time, probably taking a little bit of break, get some water. I mean, racing for that long is pretty hard there. I mean, we already went for, 30 minutes, I think?
Yeah, it's just nice to stand up, stretch the legs, grab a drink of water, reset the mental, and get ready for those next set of 6 races. And, if you're Hobart, maybe talk about things that you saw on the field that you could do differently a little bit, or maybe adapt some of what you see from East Tip as well as far as strategies and things like that go. So just a little bit of time to get prepared for this next set.
I love the fact that we are seeing those words. I'm a little nervous. I mean, I would be too. 100%. I'd be a little bit nervous. So there's always some fun factors to work with. For right now, though, we are still waiting to see exactly what other races they do decide. I think we've already gone through a few, and I think they can go ahead and repick them as well. But we did see the likes of Ribbon Road. I know that we saw Yoshi's Turnpike is what I lovingly call it because of how crazy it can get. And then I think we also saw or Yoshi Valley. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's and then DK Jungle as well. There's just I want to see some other races as well.
Yeah, yeah. As someone who grew up on the N64, I wouldn't mind some classic, Moo Moo Farm or Bowser's Castle. You know what I mean? Something from the.
We're going super old school there, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I can't help it. I can't help it. Old but gold over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I'm a fan of Wario, so give me some Wario Stadium.
Oh my gosh. All right, listen. I will be honest, I'm a fan of the N64 Rainbow Road. That was so rough to play because it was the longest race out there. I want old school Rainbow Road where you played for what felt like an eternity. Bring that back.
Right, it's like 7 minutes for one lap. there was a cheeky shortcut that if you could hit could shave a lot of time, but it wasn't always the easiest thing to hit. And of course, if you fall off, you got to go back up and restart. And so, the risk reward, you got to weigh it out there. But it would be interesting enough if we had the old Rainbow Road.
Yeah, well, we're going a little bit of a mining here as we got the Shy Guy Miner's helmet on. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. I think another. I want to say this one's more medium length, coming from the GBA side.
We'll see the track in the middle of the screen there. We'll see how long it takes them to get around. And unfortunately for Hobart, they have just struggled a little bit today on those fast starts.
And I think that's always going to happen. As much as you're trying to kind of race as hard as possible, you need to be aware of those times because those boosts can be difficult to hit. Now, of course, if your plan is to gather up some of those coins and get the good power-ups, hey, maybe you could do that. For right now, though, we are seeing the likes of Hobart being able to maintain above 7th. As you can see, the Yoshi on the far end for East Tip, which got off to a really rough start.
Yeah, rough start and still trying to make their way back onto the track can be difficult as we cut over. And we do see a couple of positions here. Baby Luigi in 4, Shy Guy right in front of him in 3rd. So, again, maybe it just took them a little while to get going, to get those engines nice and hot. But whatever worked in those last few races seems to be spilling over a little bit here in this second set.
Now, can they maintain it? That's the question. They really need to lock down that 2nd through 5th. Or they can aim for 1st. The star going out for Baby Mario on the side of Hobart, but I mean the Baby Mario on the East Tip side is still in firm control. Battle over 2nd and 3rd, though, is a big question as Luigi trying to go a little bit heavier, swings by a Shy Guy. Don't do my Shy Guy man like that.
Get him, Orbital, get him. 3rd place for Baby Luigi up here, going a little backflip, showing some razzle-dazzle as they continue to work toward this boost, and we had a little bit closer here, but we're going to get already into lap number 3. Baby Luigi here has had some success in 3rd, going to get passed up here for the time being, but you said it earlier, right? Consistency is key in almost any game that you're playing, so you have to play consistently well for all 3 laps.
And right now, it's still East Tip. We're seeing why. They are a squad of winners. 3-0 so far in their current matches. It looks like they're going to add another one to their belt. Crossing the finish line is Baby Mario with Yoshi in tow, as well as another Yoshi behind. So that's 3 in the top spots.
Yeah, I mean, this is just something that East Tip does consistently well. If they're not the top 4, then they're certainly in the top 2 or 3. But they are going to take all 4 positions here yet again and begin to look to pad that score. So another 29-10 start at the moment here. And, it's kind of back to that first set. So hopefully Hobart can kind of get back to what was working for him in those last couple races and look to apply that here early in the second set, because we can't really afford to let East Tip run away with it early.
You have to start locking down in about map 2 or 3. And if the courses shake out in your favor, maybe you get one in your own. Of course, we had to. We got short early on. Now we're going the modern Rainbow Road, one of the longest courses here in Mario Kart 8.
Hey, we kind of asked for it, so this is what we're going to get. But, we've had a ton of very short races, so it is nice to mix it up a little bit, and maybe this is something that can breed a little bit of success here for Hobart as well, as we see Baby Luigi out into the hole shot, able to take first place here, but how long can they hold on to it for?
That's the big question. Of course, you're gathering up coins, and remember that when you hit max coins, you get a very slight speed boost in there. If you hit 10, you're going to be moving quite quick. However, you get knocked out. You can already see East Tip trying to run it, and you're trying to stay on the outside green as much as possible. Go ahead and get the boost afterwards. You're still in good spot, though. Take a look at the left side of the screen. You are seeing the Shy Guy maintain 3rd, 4th, swapping in between.
Third, fourth, and we've got Baby Luigi right behind as well. Looking to jump off to the side here and utilize some of this shortcut action as they are down into second place with that little move there. Now onto the outside, finding the boost, skirting and drifting around the corner, looking to chase down first place. But Baby Mario, I don't understand how they get so much ground consistently out there in front.
That's just, I wonder as well, and I have an assumption that it is that speed boost tech. Every time you come out of the corner, you're able to get a little bit of a jump, and I've heard tells and seen videos of those that are able to really maintain those movements almost everywhere, as that's a fall off by Luigi, which hurts so much.
Yeah, especially when Luigi was having so much success there as well. Now going to have to fight back from 7. Shy Guy in the meantime, though, locking down second place, continues to power forward and looks to chase down that first place position. Has been gaining ground, but a little off to the side of the map there. Will slow him down just a bit.
So much more time to play for as well. We are only on lap 2. As soon as we cross over into lap 3, I expect to see a lot of those come off. Let's go ahead and see it. Lap 3, final lap here on Rainbow Road. Get to see the messy items come out to play.
Messy items coming up here soon, and for the first time we see really only one member of East Tip way out and in the front here. So maybe the new Rainbow Road working out a little bit for Hobart, but they can't quite count their coins just yet because they got to get all the way to that finish line here in that third lap. And it looks like East Tip starting to gain some of that ground back.
Yep. Oh, and Diddy Kong actually was able to grab a start as well, securing what I can only assume is 6th for them. Right now it is 1st and 2nd to East Tip, 3rd and 4th inside of Hobart, and then the rest dragging behind 5th and 8th. It's a dangerous game to play. We're watching the 3rd and 4th. If these shells land, it could be crazy. That's a bump! That was a bump to secure 2nd and 3rd. What a play by the side of Hobart to secure 2 of the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, what a great job by them. And maybe some of these longer maps could be where they find that success. So something to certainly kind of keep in consideration as time goes on. But honestly, East Tip still maintains that a decent gap here as far as the points go.
Well, you also think about it, right? 29 and 10 points, the most that you're ever going to really be able to overcome is about a 19-point difference. That's what you're looking at in the shakeup if you get 1st through 4th and are able to topple the likes of East Tip. So in this instance, we are kind of sitting there waiting as we get to go a little bit more of a de-energizer. Taking a look, this is going to be a softer tone in front. Look at the sights.
Looking at the sights here, I love this map. It's aesthetically very, very pleasing, but we'll see if it pays off here for Hobart. They had a lot of success in that last one. They're going to need that success to kind of carry over for these next couple races if they want to find a way to get back in here and be competitive with this East Tip team.
Yep, it's going to take a little bit of a run, is all I'm going to say, as it's a pretty deep gap in between. Luigi sitting at 8th, but a 4th, now 5th for the Shy Guy, trying to send out a little bit of a shell to disrupt the plans, but I don't think it's going to happen. You swing by, and you are able to grab a double. Thankfully for the Shy Guy, you can still compete, but now you're down in 7th. So for Hobart, trying to make up a lot of lost ground as you're already on lap 2.
Yeah, lap 2 already underway, and of course 8th. Shy Guy has been able to gain some of that ground back, but again, working off of these power-ups, going to get shot here as well and knocked back again. And it's just the consistency of this East Tip team, and like you mentioned earlier, they seem to have their 4th man kind of just hanging back a little bit, being a nuisance for these Hobart players.
100%. If you're hanging between, I want to say 4th and 6th, you get a nice variation of the power-ups. You get a nice variation on the shells as well, pretty much securing the fact that you will never really have to deal with the fact that you don't have offensive items, and that's the important part. You want to be able to fight. And so every time we see one player sit at about, a low ending score at the end of the day, I always assume you're playing the team game. That's what you want to do, and that's what you're hoping to get the points. Once again, massive lead, it looks like, here in 1st and 2nd for the side. Oh, the star runs out as well for the Shy Guy, and you're stuck down in 7th, 8th.
Yeah, timing just not working out in their favor. It's unfortunate, but Baby Luigi is finally beginning to make some ground, but the triple shells in front will cause some problems. Up into 4th, the Bullet Bill coming through, and at the end, knock him back to 6th. But Shy Guy was able to sneak into that 3rd position, and we have quite the gap there.
So that's what I was mentioning as well. If you're able to maintain some of the top spots, you can start to close the gap a little bit. but I don't think it was enough. We're looking at a variation of, I believe, closer to 25 still. So earlier it was 22, now it's 25. Feels a little bit bad, but it's still very doable. We're on to a race number 4.
Yeah, I mean, at this point last time, I think East Tip was like 55 points ahead. So
Yes.
certainly in a much better position at the moment. And again, they're continuing to find some success here. So I think as time has gone on, they've gotten better and better with each race. So if Hobart is able to reel it back in, I mean, I would love to see a third set.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. We're going to the Royal Roadway right now, and this one's going to also be a little bit spicy, mainly because of how open and stretchy this one is. There's not a lot of sharp turns, I would say. There's like 1 or 2, but it does leave it very open for a lot of random hits. If you get the red shells, you can mess with your opponent a lot. But if there are some straightaways, if you don't have any power-ups, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, we got that short one coming up here in a moment, but of course in the middle of that track you have that long straightaway that is just from one side to the other, from coast to coast. So that's where some of those shells can really come in handy. Baby Luigi up here in good positioning, hanging around second or third. Shy Guy right behind him. And it seems like Baby Luigi and Shy Guy have some pretty good synergy here at the front of the pack.
Oh, and what a shell as well. Knocking out one into the waters. What did I just say? What did I say, Hot Sauce? On this map, the red shells can be so devastating.
Yeah, you know, just great timing as well to hold on to that moment and realizing that the gap was coming there and able to knock him into the water, buy some of that additional time. But after being out in the front, now suffering a ton of power-ups in their direction, 8th and 7th as they slip back to the back of the pack. But luckily for them, we just started lap number 2, so plenty of time to gain some of that ground back.
I think a huge part about this is the fact that they are hitting some of their power-ups and they're hitting some of their main points, but the drift game is really catching them off guard. We're seeing here every so often they hit the drift, but not as cleanly, so they're not exactly boosting as hard. And that's why we're seeing the Diddy Kong so far out in the lead right now. Another red shell flying right by, able to connect, but pushing Baby Luigi and Baby Mario into a second, third, and fourth.
Second, third, and fourth are the positions right now. Of course, way out in front, East Tip maintains that lead, but the rest of the pack very, very close together. Some red shells here for Baby Mario. Going to find one, looking for the additional way out in front as we see it going way off into the distance, and hopefully that'll be able to connect and allow them to gain some position.
I think they can do another red shell to come out here right now, playing, pushing to third. I think this is going to be good. Boost in the fourth. Once again, maintain top field position. We're heading into that straightaway where this is going to be all important. Can you get the items that you need? And can you hit the targets you want? Oh no! The blast past the babies are in the last few places.
Yeah, right near the end here in the final map. Trying to knock them off into the water again, but right now in 7th and 5th, we see all those red little icons on the mini-map. Shy Guy not too far behind in 3rd, but we are going to see him begin to cross that finish line up there, and with that, look to have some more success. It'll be interesting to see how close they are, but unfortunately, we see a lot of these Hobart players in the back of the pack.
It just hits at the very end, and yep, there it is at the very top once again. The Diddy Kong's really throwing down with the best of them. 31 and 28 points, now exploding into a much larger difference. I believe that is a difference of, I want to say close to about 30 points. So we're sitting at about 28 difference.
28, he says. You know, I'm not even going to try to question it because your math is probably better than mine, but nonetheless, certainly a very large lead. And again, I feel like Hobart does better on these longer maps, and I think East Tip does significantly better on the shorter maps as well, at least from what we've seen in the past. So we'll see where we're headed next, but again, I mean, the lead beginning to grow by a lot.
Once again, the nightlife coming out here to play within the music. The times, the songs are so good. I love it. Listen, you're gonna round the corner, and this one, it's tricky. This one is one of the worst in terms of just the sheer annoyances that come around. The piano keys can bump you around if you're not careful. You hit the ledge, you fly off the edge like that. No, you're safe. Shy Guy is good.
Shy Guy good for the time being, but still back here in 4th and 5th at the moment as they continue to fight each other for this position in power forward. We've seen some issues with them bumping into each other in the past, but they certainly have been doing much better here in this second set. The banana peel at the back of the cart, but nobody out in front just yet to kind of locate or lock down as they continue here to make some leeway. But if you look at that mini map, so many red icons way out in front.
The hazards in the music park cause such a confusion. This is what I was mentioning earlier. It can be a problem. It can be a very, very rough problem if you're not used to it, if your timing's a little bit off, and it's going to lead to this gap in the seatings. And I mean, because it's so tight and compact, I can see East Tip continue to power through. I wouldn't be surprised to see him almost half a lap ahead if given the opportunity.
To see if they can do just that. They've got 3 shells to work with here back in 6th place. Baby Luigi has made their way up to 3rd place as well, continuing to drift around the corner, hitting that one nicely, but unfortunately just not quite able to get up to the rest of the pack. I don't even see anybody visually on the screen here of Baby Luigi just yet.
I don't think anyone's going to catch. The rough part is, oh, that's a rough flattening there for the Shy Guy, but the music keeps on playing. And the race keeps on giving here. You can see a clear difference for the middle of the pack is all the way back. For East Tip, it really is, can you connect with Luigi? Can you knock that Luigi down a peg and actually fully claim the next few spots? Remember, we're on race 5 right now. If you secure this one for your team, you pretty much secured this set.
Yeah, I think if Hobart allows East Tip to get 1st and 2nd place here, you know, obviously we'll play out the races for fun because that's what it's all about. But a 1st and 2nd here will most likely secure that victory for East Tip, and they'll look to go to 4-0. I mean, it's just remaining undefeated, especially in these races, is no easy task.
It's actually very, very difficult, I would say. When it comes to team play, something can get really, really funky with it. But it is going to be the collection. 3rd and 4th, though, with stars to boot. Looks like it's going to be a good time for the side of Hobart. It's not the full last place set. Still, the long road ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, 3rd and 4th is great. It's hard to complain about that. It's just the fact that East Tip has done so much in these early races and continues to stack those points on. Again, we see that 1st and 2nd, and there is a little bit of division there, but, you know, Diddy Kong has just been a menace out here for this crew. The quick and pace there, 122 to 73. The gap grows even larger, and well, with only 1 race left, Orbital, I don't think they're going to be able to come back from that.
Nope, that one is a much harsher one to deal with. That's almost a 50-point difference, 40-9 if we're getting specific. That's a rough one to try and cover up. And at the same time, they're only 28 points off of well, I say 28 like it's just an easy thing. 29 is the max they can earn with 1st through 4th, but they're pretty close to the 150 that they were able to earn in set 1.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think it'd be hard to beat 150. They're certainly trying to do so, but maybe not quite going to get it on this one. Nonetheless, we'll be able to secure that 1st place victory as we head into this final race, and we're going to get things kicking off. Luigi and crew hitting these fast starts this time, though, so, you know, the dedication pays off.
Being able to boost in, and once again, we've seen them get off to these fast starts before. But here in the circus land, here in the theme park, this might not always be what they seem. You got the up, you got the down, and you got the swim around. So, of course, swim around is not going to be here just yet. You're on the highway across the world, and I love it.
We all love it indeed, and we love to see all the students out here having some fun. Baby Luigi up in 1st here for the time being. This is another one of those maps that is a little bit longer. We saw Hobart have some more success on these mid to longer length maps as well. So you see if Baby Luigi can consistently hang out in 1st here. Got a little squirrely, but able to hang on for the time being.
I think that's going to be good right now. Luigi really pushing forward. They need to get a teammate up here, though, to try and save them, and they can't. And they didn't get any items either, so immediately we get to see 2 of the East Tip blow right past. It's a rough one to think about here. Red Shell sneaking up on Shy Guy as well on the left side of the screen, immediately down to 8.
Yeah, after all that early success, that hard work has been knocked away, but plenty of time to work back toward the front of the pack as we see a lot of players here duking it out right now through these boosty ramps. And unfortunately for them, actually it's much closer than I expected here in this final race.
I think it's going to. Remember, you play for a little bit of pride. This is what we assume is going to be a Hobart's 2nd race of the season, or 2nd set of the season. They got plenty of the season to go. This is a great learning experience for them.
Oh yeah, we always say there's no losers in these games, right? There's winners and there's learners, and that's all you really do. You learn, you grow, and you get better as you continue to play throughout the regular season. And baby Luigi showing that determination can pay off. Already back up here into second place, so certainly working for the time being. He gets to get taken out though, and they continue to fight back and forth.
I mean, right now you're still in third. You got double items. You got a boost behind. Oh, you ran into the red shell. Oh no! The red shell on the back end forces you down to 8, so it's on Shy Guy. Can Shy Guy ride as hard as possible, not bumping into that banana, having a chance at a double box? What are you going to grab? Items are bananas and the mushrooms. Can you get the shrooms out? Can you reach yourself? You need to drop these as quick as possible as you slide right by, but it will be the end. 5th is one of the highest that we've seen for Hobart here, and unfortunately, I believe that does mean that East Tip will go ahead and claim set 2.
Yeah, you can see him there, the top 3 positions for the points overall, and we can take the score and watch it tally up here at the end. 143-91, certainly closer than that previous series. And again, we saw them have some success on those longer maps, but at the end of the day, consistency is what pays off, and East Tip showing you why they are still undefeated.
I mean, I don't think it's going to ever change here. East Tip look solid. And I love the fact that you can kind of see some team play in there as well. We mentioned the fact that the fourth place will almost always run interference, looking to try and shell out and then bump opponents off. It's such a well thought out plan. And you love to see it in a game that's normally just kind of a fun to play style.
Oh, yeah, that's all it is here. It's all about the fun, you know, and I certainly had fun with you here today, Orbo. I got to thank Indiana Esports Network for allowing us to come along and shout at the mic here together as well.
Oh, it was so much fun. You know, Mario Kart is not one I always get to experience, but in the spirit of Halloween, we got some spooky maps. We got to run some of the hazards out there, and I love it all day long. More Mario Kart, and again, to see the middle school scene grow and flourish underneath as well makes me very happy.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be all of the time for us here today. Of course, we thank LOS Portal, Zotac Gaming, Landfest for their sponsorships here today. Of course, everybody behind the scenes here as well. Connie for helping make the stream run so smoothly. Of course, each and every one of you at home helping, just kind of showing up, showing out, and showing your support for the students here today. So, but unfortunately, that is all for us. I am Hot Sauce. That was Orbital, and you guys were awesome. Thank you again so much for hanging out, and we'll see you back here for the next one.